Yo, Sean G, man, live and direct. Dopest podcast on YouTube, dopest channel on YouTube. Got my man today, yo, JD, what's up, man?
What's going on, bro? What's happening?
Everything is good, man. Yo, it's great to see you, man.
Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
Great to see you, man. So, I know your story, but I want to do this interview as if, I don't know your story.
Right.
What's your name?
J.J. Davis.
J.J. Davis. Where you from?
California, West Covina, California.
Shout out to West Covina. Born and raised?
Born and raised.
Where you was born at?
On Glendora.
On Glendora?
No, Glendora Hospital, but I was raised in West Covina.
Glendora Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Raised in West Covina.
Yes, sir.
All right. Went to all elementary schools, public schools in
Everything.
West Covina?
Well, in West Covina and Baldwin Park. I went to high school in Baldwin Park.
Baldwin Park.
Baldwin Park.
That's in Cali.
Yes, sir.
All right. Two-parent household?
One parent. Pops died when I was 8. Mm-hmm.
And just your mom's raised you?
My mom's raised me and my 2 brothers.
Okay. Where was you at? You the oldest, middle, or the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
You the baby boy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How old are you?
43.
43. What year you was born?
97. I'm sorry, 78. Graduated in 97. I was born in 78.
Born 1978. So you came up through the 80s.
Yes.
In California.
Yes, sir.
What kind of kid was you like growing up?
My mom was she owned a few group homes, but I was a good kid, a little bit soft. But my mom had the group home kids, and she told the boys, she said, make my son unsuffer. So I was raised around on gangbangs. You know, I was thugs my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So I was bred by them.
So your mom owned group homes?
She owned group homes. I was
She was an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What's your nationality?
Mom has Indian in her. She has
Native American?
Yep, she has Hispanic, black and white.
Okay. So you mix.
Yeah, a little bit Asian in her too.
What about your pops?
Pops is on straight black from Alabama, Alabama.
Okay. So your mom's is an entrepreneur. You watch your mom's be an entrepreneur from day one.
Absolutely. Well, she really worked under her sister. She owned it, but my mom, she ran the business. So my mom really handled everything. Okay.
And these group home kids was a little rough.
Oh, no question.
Or a lot rough.
No question. Lawrence Phillips played football for the Rams, went to Nebraska. He came up through there, so yeah.
Okay. So elementary school, what middle school, were you an athlete or what did you stay home? Video games?
No video games. I was gonna go either to baseball field, basketball, and gym, or watch football all day long.
So you was an athlete?
Yeah, of course I was.
So you was always interested in sports?
Yes, sir. Always around the game.
When did you? What was the first sports you started to play as a kid?
Well, I looked up to my brother Randy. He played soccer, basketball, football, and baseball. So I was around like 4 years old. I had a knack for all 4 of those sports, and I excelled in all those sports. So I just became natural talent. You know what I'm saying? Just by looking at the game, studying the game, being around the game.
Okay. Little league?
Yeah.
Football, baseball, all of them?
Yeah, but I stopped playing football my senior year of high school because the line was too small, and I knew I had a baseball career. So I stopped playing football my junior year in high school. I started playing soccer when I was like 11 or 12.
What position of football you played?
Quarterback and a tight end.
You started?
Yeah.
What about basketball?
I was a shooting guard.
How tall are you?
6'6".
6'6". How tall were you in high school?
I was 6'6", but I weighed 217.
You was 6'6" in high school?
Yes, sir.
How tall you was like as a freshman?
I got my growth spurt my sophomore year, so I think I was like probably like 6 even my freshman year.
And then you came back sophomore year, you was 6'6".
6'6".
That was a game changer?
Yeah, absolutely. Then again, size is cool, but if you ain't got the heart, the mindset for it, I don't care how big you are, you won't excel in the game. It's simple as that. Because I've seen cats who had all the talent in the world, but their mindset was off. They didn't have the heart to play the game. You know what I'm saying? So they have failed at it. But the kids who have the heart and the right mindset, the sky's the limit for them.
Now check this out, JD. Check this out. Now, on what you just talked about, do you know, and this always happens like in every neighborhood, every state, do you know some kids, man, that grew up with you that was super dope at baseball, super dope at football, super dope at basketball, but just went the wrong way, went to the streets, and just the talent was never on display?
Man, that's an understatement. I know plenty of cats who had all the ability in the world, but the females in the streets caught them up, and they fell victim to it.
Just as good? They was just as good as you?
Man, they were just as good as me. Because California breeds a lot of athletes who are good. Cats who really can't afford to play out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing, but they fall victim to the streets because cats ain't giving them a chance. And it's sad because you shouldn't, if you got it right, you shouldn't hold that kid hostage because he can't afford it. You want to take that kid in and help him out because you're saving that kid's life. The hell with the sport. It's not about the sport, it's about the kid and his life and giving him a future and a fair chance of life.
Now, when did you start playing? You played baseball in Little League?
Yeah.
Middle school?
Yeah.
Then you told me you quit baseball.
I quit baseball my sophomore year because all my friends played football and basketball. And baseball.
So you was the only nigga playing baseball?
Yeah.
Everybody else was playing football and basketball?
Yeah.
And you quit baseball?
I quit baseball. Mom wasn't having it though. Mom came to my
What
school.
you mean you quit, man?
Bro, I didn't have a love for it no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't recognize my talent in high school. I knew I was good, but I didn't know I was that good. So I told my mom, it's a funny story actually, I told my mom that I was going to quit. And she was like, she didn't believe me at first until I didn't go to practice. Coach calls her up. I'm like, yeah, on your son missed practice, blah, 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 blah. She's like, don't worry about it, I'm going to handle it. So, my mom came into the school looking like Don King, bro. She had on one red Converse, one blue Converse. Hair was just buck wild. And her clothes was dingy. So, my homeboy was like, yo, is that your mom? I said, I don't think so, looking like that. So I got close to her corner. And lo and behold, it was my mom. She was like, I'm going to come to the school every day until you play baseball again. I said, Mom, go home. I'm going to practice right now. That was all she wrote.
Now, when you told the coach you was quitting?
Yeah. Everybody knew I was quitting.
What did he say when you told him you was
He
quitting?
didn't believe it. He said, I'm making a mistake. I said, no, I'm not. I want to put my focus on football and basketball.
All right, so then you go back to practice, sophomore year.
Yeah.
What happens? You start taking it serious? You get real? I mean, what's up?
I didn't take baseball serious until I was always good.
Naturally good?
Yeah, but my mind didn't click until my junior year when this kid, Jose Garcia, was getting hyped from the scouts. And I seen those scouts come to the game. So that's when I turned it on.
He was on your team?
Yeah, he got drafted by the Brewers in '96 in the, I think, the second round.
He was older than you?
Yeah, he was a pitcher. Nasty. So I seen scouts come to his game. It just so happens, it was like probably about 10 scouts came to see him play, and they recognized me. That's how I got on. But lo and behold, I got my first attention from a scout when I was 14 at a park called Orangewood. He seen me pitching, and he approached me about it.
You told me that story from the Dodgers.
Yeah, from the Dodgers.
He was 14 years
14
old.
years old. 14.
And he saw you pitching in a 14-year-old game. And what? Talk about that day. What happened? You pitched? And
He
what
just
happened?
said, how old am I? He said, I got a
After the
live
game?
arm. Yeah, I have a live arm. I have a future in this game. He gave me his card and he said, keep on working hard.
What did the card say on it?
It said on Los Angeles Dodgers, and his name was on it. And I was like, oh snap. Tripped me out, man. Tripped me out.
All right, so my man, Jose Garcia, shout out to Jose Garcia. He gets drafted in the second round from the same high school as you. He's a teammate.
Yeah, teammate.
So now it becomes real for you.
Absolutely, because really he inspired me. He inspired me because on my pitch he pitched, and he was a great pitcher. And I kind of wanted to be like him. But it just so happens I surpassed him. He got hurt, hurt his shoulder or elbow, something like that, and I think he made it past, I think high A, and that was it for him. But hell of an arm though, man, hell of a talent.
All right, so you see that junior year and senior year, you turned it on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Getting money.
Yes, sir. And my brother told me my junior year, he said, JJ, if you want to make $1 million, listen to me. Do this because you have that skill set. At that time, I didn't believe him until it actually happened. He said, see, I told you.
All right. What positions did you play in high school?
First base, pitch, and I played a little bit outfield.
What was your bat like?
Oh man, my senior year I hit I think I hit 564 on batting average, 8 home runs, but I had like 35 intentional walks. They said put them on.
They was intentionally walking you.
And they wouldn't pitch to me at all. They said put them on.
All right. So senior year comes. Baseball season is over. What happens?
Well, I was getting hyped from all the teams. Then my man Leland Maddox.
What teams?
Man, Mariners, Orioles, Pirates, Royals, Padres, Braves, Mets, Yankees. Every team
Coming to see you.
coming to see me play.
So you finish baseball season, they all getting at you.
Yes, sir.
They coming to the crib?
Yep. But how this all went about, though, is that after the scouts seen me from coming to see Jose, I got invited to go to this showcase, a national showcase called Team One Showcase, and it was held in Cincinnati, Ohio. And it was like 100 of the top high school players all in one place. Well, I was an underdog. They knew who I was, but they didn't know who I was. You had like Rick and Kill, you had Ryan Anderson, you had Vernon Wells, all these top-notch guys at this camp. Corey Patterson. So I was an underdog. So I went in there, and I seen that I was an underdog, and it fueled my fire. So I went in there, and I was on Rick and Kill's team. It was Rick and Kill, Ryan Anderson, and then I pitched next after them. So I was going up against 2 of the top pitchers in the nation, and I pitched after them. So I said, cool, I'm about to dominate. I told myself in my mind, I'm about to dominate. I faced 15 batters, struck out 8, and I hit 97 4 times.
On the gun.
Yes.
As a senior.
I was 17 at that time. After that pitching performance, I went from
underdog
to the top pitcher in California and one of the top 3 pitchers in the nation. That's when I took off.
When you left back from Cincinnati, it was a whole nother ball game. Teams was coming to your house calling you?
Oh yeah, I was that dude then. But my problem was I let the hype and attention, it got to my head. I still balled out, but I lost some focus because of the hype and attention. I got big-headed, which is a mistake that a lot of athletes do today.
All right. So 1997 comes around, you get drafted.
Yep.
What round and what pick did you get drafted?
I won 8th pick in '97, first round.
First round pick. Draft pick, the number 8 pick.
Number 8 pick out of high school.
At 18 years old?
Mm-hmm.
By who?
Pittsburgh Pirates.
By the Pittsburgh Pirates. You go ahead of all of the college teams, University of Texas, Oklahoma State, Florida, all LSU, all the big powerhouses, the college players, you get picked number 8. Describe that. Turn that off for me, Sean. Turn that phone off. Describe that day, the phone call. How did it happen? How did you know you got drafted? Give me that phone.
Because when Leland Maddox came to see, well, he was a scouting director with the Pirates at the time. He said, when he came to see him, I met him at a hotel at the LAX airport that night.
Before the draft?
Before the draft, he said, I love what I've seen with you. I'm going to take you in the first round.
Oh, so he was with the Pirates?
Yes, I'm taking the first round. I didn't believe him because he came to a game and he seen one at bat. He didn't even see me pitch. He seen one at bat and left. So I didn't think he liked me. And we met him that evening at the hotel, at LAX hotel, and he said, I'm going to take him in the first round. And he said, he promised my mom, he said, look, I'm going to take care of your son the rest of his life because it's not about baseball. He said, I promise I'll be there for your son for the rest of his life.
So you watched the draft on TV?
No, I was in Pittsburgh for the draft.
You was already there?
I was already there.
So you didn't watch it?
There.
Did they have the ESPN shit, the whole thing they had?
Not back then they didn't. Not back then they didn't. So I flew to Pittsburgh probably a day before the draft. And they said they're going to take me in the first round. And that's what they did. So
how did you feel, man?
It didn't hit me until I got my first paycheck, which was like $500,000. That's when it hit me. But at that time, I was too young to feel anything. Because I played the game, I believe, for all the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean?
So, meaning I played the game for the power of it, the money, and what came with the money.
The excitement, the girls, the getting high, all of that, clubbing.
Absolutely. I fell in love with that, and that's why the short career. And that's why I teach these kids now, it's not about your talent level. It's about your character. If your character does not match your talent level, I don't care how good you are, you're not going to make it. Because character is going to do whatever it takes to get you to where you want to be. And it's going to bypass all the BS.
How much did you get signed for?
$1.675 million.
So you leave California, you fly to Pittsburgh, they draft you, and you sign a contract. You go from broke to worth $1.65 million at 18 years old.
Yes, sir.
After the draft, you came back to California, or you went straight to the farm system, or what?
I went back to California for 2 months, and I went to Bradenton, Florida, to play in the rookie ball, '97.
What was that like?
Well, for me, it was weird because I wasn't used to the humidity. I didn't like it at all.
The heat.
The heat was crazy. I didn't like the heat. Didn't like how it rained in the same place, same time every day. But I had my money, so I made excuses not to play. You know what I'm saying? So.
So you started with the bullshit right away.
Yeah.
Once you got the check.
You
started with the bullshit.
Right.
Attitude change.
Right, and it caught up to me because for the first 4 years, I was projected now as a bust, and that magnified my mind. Like, no, I can't be that guy. So I had to turn it on. So my second year of on AA is when I turned it on. I had a conversation with my head coach. But prior to that, I used to fake injuries. You know what I'm saying?
To fake injuries?
Yeah, because I didn't want to play because it was too hot. And I just didn't want to play because I didn't love the game at that time. So my second year in AA.
AA who?
I'm out Altoona, Pennsylvania. So my first 4 years, I'm batting like 200. You know what I'm saying? I'm not living up to my hype.
You're not panning out.
I was living way below, you know what I'm saying, what they expected of me. So I really get hurt my second year in AA. I think it was like my fourth game. I ran into a wall, caught the ball, ran into the wall, and I sprained my ankle.
A real injury?
Yes, real. But they thought I was faking. Now I'm already on the line now. You know
Because you had already been bullshitting faking before.
And they knew it. And they're like, you're a waste of talent. Why aren't you, what I'm saying, on taking your craft seriously? But at that time, I'm smoking weed, I'm taking pills, I'm drinking, I ain't tripping off that because I have the money, and I'm thinking this lifestyle's never going to end, right? So I really get hurt. I'm out 2 months. The guy playing my position is balling, so I'm getting more depressed. I can't play. I can't really show who I am.
What position you was playing there?
Right field.
Okay. And the nigga that's replaced you, he getting busy.
Right.
He taking advantage of his opportunity.
Right. Well, mind you, that off season, I worked my butt off. The first off season, I worked my butt off. I trained every day, and I seen my results in spring training. So I go for my second year in AA, and I'm balling my first 4 games. I get hurt in about 2 months. The guys, it was on Shauna and Garrett was his name. Killing, had like 10 home runs. I came back, had like 10 home runs, had 40 RBIs. So I'm kind of depressed, right? So I get off the DL 2 months later, and I wasn't starting. I'm like, hold up. So I'm like, damn, they're about to release me. I'm about to be a bust. So
before the injury, you starting.
Yeah.
While you bullshitting faking injuries, you was starting.
Right.
Because of your statue of where they drafted you, number 1, you gonna start.
Right.
So you come back off the DL after your real injury, now you ain't the starter.
And I was depressed. I was on the bench. So that day, I was going through BP, I was going through the motions. The head coach knew I didn't want to be there. He knew I was depressed. I was
Who was
sad.
the head coach?
Dale Swain. He knew that I was on depressed and I didn't want to play no more. So BP's over with, and I'm sitting in the dugout. I'll never forget it, bro. I'm in the dugout, and I got my head in my hands. And he comes in and says, "Jay, I want to talk to you. Come here." I went to his office. I will never forget this day, bro, because it changed my whole life. Prior to all this, I didn't think he liked me. I thought he was a racist and white dude. Didn't think he liked me. But I had a new respect for him after the conversation was over with. He said, "Jay, I'm going to tell you like this, bro. You're on a thin line with the Pirates. They're trying to release you, but I'm telling them to hold on to you. You are a hell of a talent, but you're lazy. You don't put forth the effort. You're wasting your time and our time." About an hour's later, like a heartfelt conversation. Let me have it. Like, you need to go ahead and apply yourself and see what happens. I mean, let me have it. After that conversation was over with, my mind shifted to off to on. I said, I promise you, Dale, you will never have a problem with me again. I'm going to be the hardest working guy on this team. The hardest worker. I'll be here first every day. I'll leave last every day. You won't have a problem with me no more. I promise I'm going to give you my effort. We're 2.5 months in the season now. I have no home runs. The guy who was playing my position had like 10 or 11. So I didn't start that game, but that game went into extra innings. He calls me in, bases loaded, to hit. 1 out. I got the game-winning hit. Next game, we're at home in Altoona. I hit the game-winning home run. After that, it was all she wrote. I ended up leading the team in all categories at the end of the season and got called to the big leagues that year in 2002. Led the teams in home runs, RBIs, average, slugging percentage, and I was 2.5 months behind. That's when I knew I had a talent. That's when I knew that I was good, that I can hit and play in this league.
So you get called up to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Describe that day.
Man, we was in Atlanta, Turner Field. And so I fly up there in a hotel. I'm like in shock. Like I walk out into the field and I'm looking. I'm just like, I was amazed. Like, this is, wow.
It was a home game in Pittsburgh, or the game was in Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
Fulton County Stadium?
Yes. Nah. It was not Fulton County Stadium.
Turner
Field.
Turner Field.
So went to Turner Field, and then I'm seeing Chipper Jones, Ryan Klesko, Andrew Jones. I'm like, damn, this is it. I've always dreamed about this. I've seen it on TV. I've been to Dodgers games in California. Now I'm on the field actually with the uniform. Playing. So it was surreal, man. It was a beautiful feeling. And
did you play the first game?
I didn't play, but I got in the bat the first game. I struck out against Terry Mulholland, but I worked him on a full count. Had a great at bat off him, had great swings off him, but they caught an outside pitch spot that almost off the corner. I should have walked, but I didn't. I'm all good. So after my first at bat, these cats from the Pirates wanted to change my batting stance. And I have to listen, I'm a rookie.
How old are you at this point?
I was 22. I'm a rookie, you know what I'm saying? So
the batting coaches and everybody's coming to you, yo, do this, do that, change this, change that.
After my first at bat,
after your first at bat,
let me do what got me to this point. But I couldn't. So I did it third way and I failed. Knowing what I know now, I would have never changed. I would have failed my way.
That was
if
a mistake.
I failed, yeah. If you fail your way. Don't never fail their way because they ain't gonna take credit for it. So if I don't care what player it is. If you fail your way. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
What you had been using since high school that got you to Turner Stadium, why change? It got me this far. But being young and being probably overwhelmed with the scenery and just the environment and the circumstance, you know, and you kind of like, well, I want to take my game to another level. They know what they're talking about. They pros. We up here. No good, though.
No, it messed me up. Then again, now that I'm wiser and looking back at it, I understand it. They set me up to fail because my character wasn't up to par. There it goes again, the character. It wasn't up to par, so I understand why they did what they did. They set me up to fail. They had to call me up because of my numbers. And I was a first round pick. But they set me up to fail. And now that I'm older, I get it.
All right, so after the Pittsburgh Pirates, you get traded to who?
The Nationals.
Washington Nationals.
Yes, sir.
What year is this?
That was 04, 05.
What happened over there?
Well, I wasn't supposed to make that team. But, again, I put the work in the off season, and I dominated the spring. I dominated the spring training. I had like 50 at-bats in the spring training. That's unheard of. And I wasn't starting. So they put me in every possible position to fail again. But I rose to the occasion every time. So I had like 50 at-bats. I had, I think, 28 hits. I had 4 home runs. So they had to put me on the team. They had no choice but to put me on the team. So they did me the same way the Pirates did me. But mind you, now I'm playing under Frank Robinson. Well, I played with him for Team USA. But I left there early because I wasn't going to make the team. Well, I made the team. When I made the team, I met this girl and we smoked weed. And so they said, we're going to Aruba. If you guys get caught on a drug test, the whole team has to forfeit. So I'm like, damn, I went this long without smoking weed. Why did I smoke weed? So I can't go because
if I get busted,
I'll mess everybody up.
I'm going to mess everybody else up.
So I had a lie and said that my mom, because it was like they had forest fires in California at the time. I said, my mom she's stuck in there, so I need to go be with her. And they knew it was a lie. So Frank Robinson.
Legendary Frank Robinson.
Yes.
Hall of Famer Frank Robinson.
Yes, and then the GM was Jim Bowden. I was cool with him. I used to babysit his kids in Florida when I was playing for the Pirates. So they did me how the Pirates did me. So now I'm just discouraged. I'm like, the hell with this game. So now I want to pitch. Because when I got traded to the Nationals, they sent me down when I sent down after 2 months of the season. I got sent down to AAA, and I'm like, what? Mind you, a rookie that then I got sent down. A rookie came in. We're in San Francisco. I'll never forget. We're in San Francisco. They had
Candlestick?
it was no
The new park?
yeah, Petco, whatever it's called. We're in San Fran, and a rookie came in late. He came in after batting practice, drunk, hungover. So their top pitches, I think it was Tony Armas Jr. was coming off the DL. So somebody had to go down. When old boy came after BP drunk as a rookie, I knew it wasn't going to be me. I was putting the work in. My mom was down there in Washington. Everything was clicking. After that game's over with, I get a knock, get a hit. Game's over with. They come, tap me on the shoulder. Jim Bowden and Frank Robinson couldn't even look at me. This how I was going down. I was crushed. At that point, I was done with baseball. Get sent down to AAA New Orleans. And I'm like, why am I going back here? I've proven myself here, so why am I going back? I went there with the wrong mindset and still dominated. I hit like, I think 295, had 10 home runs in like 40 games. So I said, look, I want to be untraded to the Rockies because they need outfielders. All-Star break came. I get traded to the Rockies. Jim Bowden tells me, and then Colorado tells me that, yeah, you're going to the big leagues with us. We get the details tomorrow. I said, cool. They called me and said, I'm meeting the team in Colorado Springs, which is AAA. And I said, oh, man, you guys got me messed up. So now I'm drinking harder. I'm smoking weed. I'm taking ecstasy now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, forget this. I'm trying to escape this horrid unreality that I'm in. Like
all these setbacks and these reverses.
Right. So
that you feel are unjustified.
Right, absolutely. At that time I did because I put the work in. So I said, you know what? I'm going back to pitch. Get traded to the Rockies. I'm in Colorado Springs. I'm doing my thing there, but I said, you know what? I don't want to hit them. I want to pitch. Not knowing this how the universe works. You get set back to test your faith to see if you're going to stick it out. Setbacks are pivotal for growth. I was 1 month from my big breakthrough with the Rockies if I would have stuck it out for a month.
What kind of big break? What you mean?
I was going to be the starting right fielder in the big leagues.
How you know that?
They told me.
What happened?
I got a call a year after I walked away from the game because I blew my shoulder out. I walked away.
Blew your shoulder how?
I'm trying to pitch. Came back too quick, was out of shape. I think on drugs had a lot to do with it.
You getting high and getting drunk at this time?
Yeah, but I blew my shoulder out and I walked away from the game. Never went back. A year later, one of the guys who played or who I seen at a baseball game asked him what had happened. Like, yeah, I mean, you were a month away from your big breakthrough for the Rockies. I said, you serious? Like, yeah. And that was a lesson. That was a huge lesson for me. Huge lesson for me. But still, I'm still tripping. Like, I'm still like, the hell with the game, blah, 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 blah.
Still got money.
Right. But here's what comes with all this nonsense. When you have bad habits in life, whether it's drinking or smoking, now you are associated with these people who are going to keep coming at you because you're their money maker. And that's what caused me to sell drugs. Knowing the wrong people.
So when you get out of baseball, you still got some money left. You start hustling and selling drugs.
I'm like, you know what? How can I keep the same power that I had?
Same lifestyle.
Right, with baseball. And the close thing was I didn't have a plan B. So it was to sell drugs.
So now what happened?
I blew $650,000. I blew $650,000 because I ain't no hustler. I blew $650,000 in like 6 months, and I was powerless to stop it because it was my karma coming back on me. How I did people. Like it all makes sense now. Like everything that I did in my past hit me all at once, and it broke me. At a time where I couldn't do anything about it. That's how karma works, man. And I understand the the law of cause and effect. I get that now.
JD, talk to the young dudes that are getting ready to get drafted and getting ready to get that big signing bonus and get that big money. Talk to them about the lack of a mental game or the mental game of what that money can potentially do to you to just fuck up your whole situation.
You just gotta keep your mind stayed on the prize. Don't worry about the money if you have it, but make sure you guys have a good supporting cast, because without that you're gonna lose it all. Have some type of financial illiteracy, because without that you're gonna lose it all. But it's not about the money. The money is a means for you to help people. The money is a means for you to go ahead and help your family and keep you comfortable. But as far as the money, don't play for the money. Always play for the love of the game, because when you play for the love of the game, everything else comes after that. Everything you want, all your dreams come true with your love for whatever it is you put your heart to.
That $1.65 million, how old were you when that first check for $500,000 hit your account? How old were you?
I was 18.
So they gave an 18-year-old child, a child, $1.6 million. No financial literacy, no financial team, no, just here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's wise for young athletes to get some type of accounting background or take some type of course when they get that first money to bone up on them, instead of leaving all their financial dealings to a business manager? Is it good for them to get their own?
Absolutely, because the one thing that I failed to do at that time is invest in myself. I invested in the knowledge of other people, and that never works. Learn about money. Learn how to save. Learn how to invest. Learn how to save money. Learn about stocks and bonds. Form your own financial literacy, because if you depend on somebody else, you're going to lose it. Invest in yourself.
All right, so now you selling drugs, you hustling, you get busted.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 31, 32. Something like that. I was on 31.
What you got busted with?
28 pounds of marijuana.
28 pounds of weed. You was selling weed.
Yep, they had a case on us for a whole year and a half.
The state?
No, Fed. Who was going from Charlotte to California?
Y'all was buying the weed in California
Yep.
and bringing it back to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
They have been following y'all, watching y'all
For a year and a half.
for a year and a half. So when they came, they had it.
Had their case. That's why they swooped up in on us. They had their case. They swarmed us. It was crazy. But it was crazy because we went to Atlanta and I felt something was off the whole time I was there. Like I was buying clothes, I'm like, I don't know why I'm buying this, because I'm not gonna get to wear it. I just had a bad feeling, man. As we come back from Atlanta, and 2 or 3 days later from getting back, they hit us.
Where you was at when they came and got you?
I was in Charlotte off of Fairview Street over by South Park Mall.
You was at home?
No, I was at the homeboy's house.
They,
I was picking up some marijuana from his house.
how many? The whole Windbreaker crew came?
Yeah.
How many of them came?
It was about probably 10 cars deep,
Full of agents.
full of agents, FBI. Know what? It wasn't FBI. It was ICE. ICE agents.
Why ice?
I don't know.
That's the jackets they had on.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that be them.
right.
Because when they came to see me, they had all the different colors. ATF, IRS,
Yeah,
FBI, all of them be there. They just, whatever windbreaker they got in the trunk, that's what they going to put on.
right.
So, they took you right then?
Yeah.
You didn't see the street no more?
Not bonded out that day. But they came and got me a year and a half later. Went to court, it was over with. Couldn't get out. In a county jail, no bond. Couldn't get out, stuck.
You went to trial?
Hell no.
You was busted.
Yeah, red-handed.
So you stayed in the county 17 months?
17 months.
Just waiting to go to court to get sentenced.
Yeah,
They wouldn't let you stay on the street and wait.
nah. I was in the county, no bonds. And pod with like 50 dudes.
How many of y'all was on your case?
I think like 68 people.
68?
Something like that. Like 68 people. Yeah, 68.
How much time you got?
I got 47 months. I did 37.
Then you ended up at Morgantown. That's where I met you, at
Yeah.
Morgantown.
Morgantown, Girard unit.
JD, so psychologically, describe your mind frame. You the number 8 pick in the Major League Baseball first round draft in 1997. And how many years later?
9.
You in federal prison.
No, I'm sorry. So what? 19 years later, I'm in federal prison.
What are you thinking?
Really, I couldn't even think anything because my life was on pause. I was just like, what was I thinking about? Why didn't I just take the money and run? Why is this happening to me? Is my life over? How much time I'm gonna get? You know what I'm saying? Like what's happening right now? Like everything was just in a blur. But my life was on pause, so I couldn't do anything. But honestly, when I got with them kids, and I was giving back, that was my therapy. It took my mind off everything.
Now, JD, when I met you at Morgantown, we used to work out together, and you was one of them dudes that was heavy into the religion thing, you know. And I never really, you know, I saw a lot of niggas in there, man. A lot of dudes go in there, they turn Muslim while they doing time, or they turn Christian while they doing time, or they turn sovereign and all this and all these different things while they in prison. And then when they get released, they don't remember none of that. But you stayed with your Bible in there. I always saw you with your Bible. You stayed by yourself. You rolled by yourself. And even when you got out and we reconnected, you still on your religion thing, man. So that you was really real about that, man.
Well, for me, I promised my mom because I was raised in a Christian home. We didn't really follow the principles, but it was spoken all the time. And I decided to give it a try. I said, Mom, I promise you that I'm taking it serious. I'm gonna give my life to God. And once I got to jail, I did that. And then I prayed and prayed and prayed, and I was one. When I'm out of my element in jail, 17 months, and I had no fear of nothing. I didn't worry about nothing because I believed God in His Word. And I said, God, if you get me out of this, I promise you that I will serve you the rest of my life. I don't preach religion on anybody because I don't believe in it. I believe in relationship. Everybody has their own personal walk with whoever they want to walk with. That's on them. But I know for a fact if you give your heart to Him, you'll see him work in your life. Like I seen him work in my life, in jail and in prison, and he's still working for me. Because if you look at it, when I look back, I shouldn't be alive right now. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be doing as well as I'm doing because of my choices. So everything that I've read in the Bible has been true for me. I can't tell anybody how to think or what to do. That's on you guys. But he worked, man, and he answered my prayers. So he kept his word to me, so I'm going to keep my word to him.
How did federal prison help you, JD, from a psychological and a spiritual standpoint, and a mental behavior standpoint?
Gave me more time to think, more time to meditate, gave me a sense of mental clarity as far as what landed me in prison. It gave me a sense of I'm sitting still. It gave me a sense of a desire to read books and not watch TV. It gave me a sense of wanting to become a better person. It was a gift. It was a gift. It was a curse, but it was a greater gift. If that makes any sense.
Absolutely. To me, you already know I was in there with you.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't like it at that time.
The discipline game.
Right, but hindsight 2020, looking back on it, that was the best 3 years of my life because I had no stress or worries about nothing because I knew that God had performed everything that I prayed about because I believed it. And belief in life is everything.
JD, talk about, and this is it, talk to the baseball players who think that if they strike out, their world is over. If they have one bad game where they strike out twice, if they're not hitting 2 singles every game, that they get deflated. Talk to them about baseball as a game of failure, man.
Fellas, don't be afraid to strike out. Strikeouts are the biggest part of the game. Errors are the biggest part of the game. Baseball is a game of failure. You are going to fail regardless of something in life. Failure is a greater opportunity to come back. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't get mad because you guys strike out or a pitcher's nasty, because one day you'll be on and face that same pitcher, then you'll get him. That's how baseball is. Adam Dunn, who played for the Cincinnati Reds, he struck out over 200 times a year and still made 40. I think he still signed a contract worth $65 million with the White Sox. So striking out is a part of the game. Failure is a huge part of the game. If you go 3 for 10, that's a
300 batting average.
Right. So
Hall of Fame.
Right. So there's no need to stress about it because if you guys put the work in, everything always balances out. If you don't put the work in, then failure is going to kill you guys. It's all about confidence. It's all about discipline. It's all about having a target and working for that target because it's not going to be given to you. I don't care how good you are. If you don't exercise your talent, you'll be average.
Now, cool, you training kids here and around in the Charlotte area. If somebody wanted to contact you from Maryland or from Alabama or from Chicago or from Jersey or Boston and have you come in and train their kids or train the high school kids or college kids, how can they get in touch with you, man? You got Instagram?
My number's on 704-668-6200. My Instagram is Davis JJ.
Yo, that Instagram link is going to be underneath this video if you want my man Cool to come and train you, your kids, your high school, junior high, college, D1, pro, whatever. Get at him, man. Hey, yo, Cool, man. This was a dope day for me, man. You my man. We spent many days and nights talking in prison about what we was going to do when we get out, man. And you out here, you doing it, man, and I'm a huge supporter, man. And little Sean, I brought him down. We're gonna get some work tomorrow, man. I appreciate you, man, for letting me get this interview, man.
All love, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You got it.
All right, bro.
Peace.
Peace.